If you're wondering how you can play this restoration patch yourself, well, stick around because I'm actually going to explain that to you right now. This restoration patch is possible on the 3DS, however you'd be missing out on stuff like HD textures and probably even the higher quality audio, so for now this guide is going to stick with Citra. On top of that, using an actual 3DS to do this is far more complicated and requires far more setup, so unfortunately I'll just have to refer you to this guide that I'm going to leave on the screen right here to get your 3DS Homebrew set up and get Luma Patcher set up yourself. Ultimately, 3DS Homebrew isn't that difficult to set up. I did it once in about like a day. Less than a day even. I could do it maybe like half an hour if I was really putting my mind to it. But if you're worried about breaking Nintendo's terms of service, if you're worried about your account, if you're worried about bricking your 3DS and it's the only one you have and they're out of production, then I would avoid doing this. But if you're really that worried about piracy, and you want to use your own legitimate copy of Majora 3D to run these patches in Citra, I will refer you to this guide for getting the 3DS Homebrew set up, because I'm not that qualified to do this. And I'll refer to you to this guide and this app to dump your 3DS games. But if we're doing this in Citra, well, the first thing you need is your ROM, however you obtained it. The second thing you need is Citra, so you can go to the Citra download page. Then you want to open Citra and install your Majora's Mask 3D.cia file, whatever it might be named. As long as you know what the ROM is, it's there and you just need to install it. Then you're going to want to right-click on Majora's Mask 3D in Citra, and you're going to want to click on Open Custom Texture Location and Open Mods Location. For now, all we really need to do is keep these folders open, because they're going to be useful to us in a hot second once we've downloaded the actual mod itself. Then you're going to want to go to the website restoration.zora.re, because that's the website for Project Restoration. This is where you can find the features of the mod itself and a way to download it. The website also provides links to Luma 3DS. This is a mod loader for the 3DS itself, as well as another general purpose tool. When you click Download Project Restoration, it'll take you to a part of the webpage that says after downloading the archive, open one of the folders without extracting it. The archive is opened with a program called 7-zip, which is a sort of uber powerful file manager like your general Windows Explorer, and it's able to open zip and 7z archives, and I would say it does it better than pretty much anything else. I don't know, I've been using it for years and it's fantastic. If you don't have 7-zip on your computer, I'd recommend installing it anyways, because it's probably the second most used program on my computer, maybe third, aside from the file manager itself and Google Chrome. Here's where things are going to split up a little bit. If you don't want to use the HD texture pack, you're going to have to download the mod from the home page. If you do want to play with the HD HUD mod, you're going to want to look at the starred line and click the hyperlink that says HD HUD mod. From there, you're going to want to download the mod files it says, as well as the other two steps, which I'll get to in a moment. So in the archive that you've opened now, you should have 3 folders. One will say 110, another will say 101, and another will say 100. If you have the game card with the patch 1.1 pre-installed, you're going to want to use V110. If you have the original game with no patch, being 1.0, you're going to want to use V100. Same thing for version 1.1 if you've updated, and only try V101 if that doesn't work. The way you can check which version you have is with the title screen. The title screen will say version 1.1 if you're on version 1.1, and if you had to download update data to get there through Citra, that's obviously you had to download it. It didn't come pre-installed with the game card, so you should be using V100 or V101. So now that we know where our mod is and which folder we're using, we want to copy code.bps and xheader.bin into our mod folder. And if you remember how to get there, you would right-click on Majora's Mask 3D in Citra, and click on Open Mods Location. We can ignore the xheader_legacy.bin because that's for an actual 3DS, but you might have noticed the code_faster_aim.bps. That's if you want to turn up the stick sensitivity while looking around or using your bow or something. So, if you want that, you would copy that into the mods folder and rename it to just code.bps. From here, if you're not using the HD texture pack, you're good. You're done. You can open up Majora and it'll work just fine. If you are using the HD texture pack, however, you want to continue to step 2 on the HD HUD page on the website. From there, you'll want to click the purple hyperlink that says the layout archive, or this one, for your Xbox controllers. Fuck it, I'm keeping that in. And then you want to put the ROMFs folder in the mods folder. Keeping in mind, if you're using the HD texture pack, you have to click the Download Project Restoration 1.5.8-20 plus HD HUD, because the code.bps and xheader.bin will not work without the ROMFs folder if you're using the HD texture pack. This is why on step 1 it says download the following version of Project Restoration even if you already have it set up. I actually ran into that problem myself trying to get some extra footage. For step 3, we want to go back to Citra, right-click on Majora's Mask, and open Custom Texture Location. From there, we want to download this texture, which is a hyperlinked just saying texture in step 3, and put it in the Custom Texture folder. You also want to go into Citra, click the Emulation tab, and then click Configuration. Then you want to go into the Graphics tab, and under Utility, you want to tick the box that says Use Custom Textures. You can also tick the box Prefetch Custom Textures if you feel like you have the RAM for it. For now, you can also just click the Download this HD Texture Pack hyperlink, open that archive, and then open the folder that says MM3D HD within 7-zip, and you want to drag and drop the main folder into your custom textures folder. You can also drag and drop some of the variants into the actual texture folder, replacing some of the files that are in there. There's also a lot more you can dive into on the GitHub, which is linked to with the MM3D HD hyperlink, but if you really want to go there and get a bunch of textures and figure this out for yourself, you kind of don't need me. And I mean, that's it. Now you just kind of play the game. There you go. You have HD Majora. Now, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit of a poser. I never finished Majora's Mask when I was a kid. I owned the Virtual Console version on Wii. I owned the 3DS version. But I had originally I gotten furthest on the 3DS. That was where I really got into the game until Great Bay. The Zora form I was just so disappointed. I knew that the Zora swimming was in the game and I was like, oh, I don't remember it being, like, tied to a magic meter. And I didn't know, I didn't really do any more research, and I just kind of put the game down because the Zora wasn't fun at all. That was one thing I was really looking forward to, but, well, I did end up completing the game sometime last year, and I did it with the restoration mod, just because it's that good. It really, really does feel like you're playing the best version of Majora. Not even the original, a fully enhanced version. It feels like what Majora 3D should have been. It feels like the true match for Ocarina of Time 3D is the best remake of all time. And sure, there's still some issues with the lighting. It's still over-brightened. It's, you know, certain things just aren't the same, but what are you gonna do? It's a remake. Give me a break. Come on. If you didn't want a slightly different Majora, you wouldn't be playing this at all. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Was the stream any good? Was the game fun? Did this help you enjoy Majora 3D like it did for me? Did it ruin Majora? Was my tutorial completely off base, and did I miss something big time and you need to go, you bricked your 3DS now? Well, let me know in the comments below, and check me out at twitch.tv/MrWheyne where I'm live. You can check out the channel you're currently on, which could be the Stream Archive channel, or it could be the main channel. I still gotta figure out this whole channel business, but whatever. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Take care.